sleeping. Let's begin.
Okay. Welcome to Senate Chat, the Utah Senate's time to take questions from the media and also take questions from the public who are watching us over the internet. So welcome. This is day 44, second to last day of the legislature. We've been kind of working through all the fiscal note bills, and I think most of the financial issues are done, and we're dealing mostly with policy issues now for the next 36 hours, but we will go home to sleep tonight. Let's start with media questions.
Do we know how long we might go tonight at this point?
I'd hope we would go about maybe 7 o'clock at the latest.
Nice.
There's no guarantee of that, though.
We was
a
out
silent cheer that went up here.
But there's a big press conference at 12 at midnight. You need to be
We'll be there.
Senate chat. Midnight Senate chat.
How have you decided to deal with the judge's ruling in SB 54?
We're still working on that. Haven't decided.
Is there a possibility of some legislation? Or?
There is a possibility. I can't tell you how probable it is, though, because I don't know.
Well, talking to Senator Bramble last night after his meeting with the governor, he said that you're just going to let the judge decide. Is that not the consensus?
I don't know if it's a consensus yet. That's why I say that.
Is it something you're going to discuss in caucus, or is the caucus already kind of?
I don't think that's going to be much of a caucus discussion. We had that big caucus discussion about it yesterday. We'll probably give an update, and so a bill still could be run, and I haven't had the discussions that we're just absolutely going to let the judge decide. I think that's a strong possibility, though, at this point.
Is there a possibility that bill could repeal that for a date out 3 or 4 years from now?
Yeah, I think anything is possible, potentially, but probably not likely.
I'm going to say there's 104, probably 105 county that governor good solutions. They're not like, though, that's the trouble.
There's a lot of parties, a lot of involved in this. The Republican Party, the House, the Senate, the governor's office, Count My Vote. It's going to be difficult to get everybody together on this, but I think there's at least still some talking going on.
When you say there's talking going on, when was the last time you guys discussed it?
Last time I talked about it was last night.
In joint leadership meeting?
Yes.
Procedurally, I guess, if there was a bill, you would probably not have a committee.
I don't think we would let that kind of a bill go without a committee hearing.
You want to give it, would you?
We'd convene a committee to hear the bill, so we had public
24 hours
input.
notice requirement.
Yeah, we'd probably need to do that.
So something today.
Yeah. We'd need to do it, yeah. I can probably give you a more definitive answer tomorrow.
I could think of another solution, and that's if the court decision comes down and creates a problem, the governor could in effect call a special session, and with 2/3 votes of the legislature, where if we did it, it can be in effect. So I think that's another alternative sitting out there.
I don't know, you guys want to turn around and come right back?
I'd love to.
There is one solution though, Robert. We could send it to rules to hear. That doesn't require 24-hour notice.
Where's the Senate at on school board elections? Did you get anything done on that? I mean, you already passed out the Milner's bill, I think. Is that kind of what you want?
Well, if we look at the history of the Senate, they've been in favor of partisan elections. Or a hybrid like Senator Milner's solution last year, which would be a governor appointed, which takes a constitutional amendment. That's the history of the Senate. I don't think much has changed as far as attitudes toward that. Senator Oakland, what would be your view of that?
Yeah, I agree. I think our body has leaned partisan for a long time. There's a bill coming over from the House, and we have a Senate bill over in the House that can still be considered. I guess that hasn't been voted out.
No,
Circled, but-
and Senator Miller mentioned that they're working on it. I think it could get to a position where that could actually pass.
Yeah, so there are a couple of ideas out there that we could probably take action.
Which, by the way, is a temporary solution. We'll just cover this year. Any other questions? Anybody?
Back on SB 54 real quick, it sounds like you have a plan to meet either with is it joint leadership or is it with the governor in joint leadership? What's the plan for meeting this afternoon or this evening?
Well, we don't have a plan at this point. We'll probably talk about it in caucus and see, based on communications that we've had with the different parties, and talk about it and go from there.
It sounds like the problem is with the House and uncertainty about whether they can get the votes together. What's the sense of the Senate? Would the Senate like to do something, and if so, what would they like to do?
Well, it's really difficult because I have to look, the Senate has to look out for, we're going to be looking out for our members who have collected signatures. And we won't want to do anything that would put them in a situation where gathering signatures was some kind of a negative. It already is viewed in the party as a negative in a lot of respects. And we don't want to put our senators who are not collecting signatures in a difficult situation either. And so that's part of the struggle that we're having here. We seem to, we didn't have necessarily an absolute position on it, but we kind of felt like we could adjust the thresholds for at least a temporary period of time, because it is towards the end of the session, and it's difficult to do anything long-term at this point on that issue. So, Senator Oakland, do you see anything different from our body than what I just mentioned?
No, I think you've pretty much captured it. There are just a lot of difficult issues that kind of have to be dealt with there, and so it's going to be hard to pull something together that everybody can agree on in such a short notice. But the fact that the judge has given some hints in the case as to how he may see things, and we have a message, I think, has stimulated us to at least continue discussing what kind of the options are and the possibilities are. And there are people out there that are working on a few ideas and talking. And so we'll see if something comes along that we can all get behind, both the Senate and the House and the governor's office and the party and everybody that's involved, and count my vote folks. And if there is something we can kind of agree on, we try to find a way to move it forward. It isn't going to be easy.
Just out of curiosity, why are you talking to the party about this at all? I mean, they're the opposing side on this. They're the ones who sued you and tried to get your law struck down. Why are you going to them to say, hey, is this okay with you?
Well, because, if they were okay with it, perhaps they would start pursuing their lawsuit, which I think would be a positive thing at this point. And there's politics there, because we're all going to face, all the House members and half the Senate members are going to be facing their parties here in the next 6 weeks, and facing delegates. And so, there's some politics in this, there's no question about it.
Well, to ask about Representative Noel's bigamy revisions bills. It's sitting in rules right now. Is there a plan to lift that out? I know the Attorney General's office has asked to, had requested that bill, hoping it would end that lawsuit we have. Any thoughts on where the Senate is on that?
I don't know, I know that if it comes here, I can carry it. I have the bill, but I don't know where it is right now.
I think it's sitting in rules right now.
In rules of the Senate?
Senate rules, yeah.
Well, we'll find out, if you want to call me and I'll tell you how much you're for.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of House bills sitting in rules waiting to be.
Yeah, that's the big process, is they'll be prioritized by the House, and then we'll deal with as many as we can.
So in light of that being the process now, two bills, SB 89, which is the Vickers marijuana bill, and the Urquhart death penalty bill. There's going to be bills that are prioritized by this body today or tomorrow, or not at all.
We have started the prioritization process, started putting our list together. What we've done on the first list basically is look at everybody's priorities, each of the senators' priorities, and try to hit their top priority for as many of the senators, each of the senators that we can on the first list. And then we'll start looking on the next list, maybe at their second priority. So we're going to be talking to the senators and seeing what their priority bills are. And if they, depending on the time that we have and how quickly the bills move down the House list, our bills move down the House board, will depend on how many bills we get to. So that's kind of the process. We're just trying to sit and take as much input as we can from each of the senators and get their most important ideas up first.
So it's sort of up to those individual senators, the sponsors of those bills. to
A lot.
decide
It's going to be a lot,
prioritize, and
yeah.
It's not a leadership position to say, okay, well, we voted against this bill.
No, I don't think you're going to see that kind of a reaction at all.
Both the bills you mentioned both passed out of the Senate.
Yeah, no,
So that's a good indication that we probably want to prioritize a bit simpler.
And they both passed House committees, so
yeah. The marijuana bill's significantly different.
the change. Might take a little work.
That's going to be an interesting conference, maybe, as it's going to be.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be.
Senator Escamilla, do you have anything? Glad to have you here.
Thank you. We just, going through the same process, and we've already turned in our priority bills, and we feel it's moving along for our bills, so we're excited for that. And just listening, and we've been also included on the legal components on that SB 54. And we have the same questions. We're facing the same issues for the ones that are running this election cycle. We obviously want to make sure it gets resolved.
Senator Knudsen, anything that you want to share today?
No, I think you've covered it quite well.
Thank you. Yeah. Budget? Okay.
To get done.
Any questions over the internet?
We do have one.
Okay.
It says, what issue have senators received the most blue notes from the public on this session?
Senator Knudsen, what has received the most blue notes for you?
They've been about equal, but I think probably when we were discussing the healthcare issues, particularly the marijuana issues, I got quite a number of emails. A lot of them were congratulating me on my position.
Okay. Yeah. So marijuana was one of those.
I'll tell you, this is really different, because the only way you get blue notes is people come up here and hand them in. And some people will hand in 2 or 3. About every 10 minutes, you'll get another blue note. And if you look at it carefully, well, that's one I got 10 minutes ago. But most people do not contact us on the email, on our webpage. And so That's the ones that you kind of look over, because they come from all over, not only just the state of Utah and our own district, but they come from out of state as well. And I'd be hard pressed, I know, it seems like it comes in series. When we've got a bill on the floor like the marijuana bill, we'll get a lot on the marijuana bill, and then we won't hear anything more on it, and then we'll get something. So I go back over 44 days and try to guess. I couldn't tell you.
Water, marijuana, non-compete.
Charter school funding.
Charter school funding.
And now the bigamy.
Oh, the bigamy,
Yeah.
okay.
There was a rally, so.
Great question. But there's, sometimes it's hard to determine, and sometimes it really comes from left field as far as I'm concerned. I think still, the two issues I've gotten the most email on over my history in the legislature is the raw milk bill a few years ago and the midwife bill a few years ago. Go figure. So, I mean, they obviously had a constituency that were very energized. So, you know what? It's interesting. We pass a $14 billion budget and I get no emails on that. So, anyway, thank you for your sending in your questions. And if there's no other questions, we will see everybody tomorrow, last day.
Just quickly,